Basement. I'm your host, Otto, coming to you live and direct from the grotto. I have my boy Roger Levesque, as I always do.
What's up, everybody?
We have Very Gary in the house with the New York City wrap-up. Absolutely fantastic. We got a great show for you planned tonight, so stick around for a wonderful show. And here we go.
Banded together from remote galaxies are 13 of the most sinister villains of all time, the Legion of Doom, dedicated to a single objective, the conquest of the universe. Only one group dares to challenge this intergalactic threat.
I always do that. There we go. Sorry about that. So we're live and direct. It's Friday night, 9:30. Thank you very much for jumping on. Thank you very much for tailgating. I know Randy Sloan was tailgating. Sith Lordley was hanging out with us. We've got some things to talk about tonight. We're going to go through this, but I want to give a shout out to a bunch of our sponsors. So we've got a lot of guys who have been supporting Free Men in the Basement. And the first person I want to give a shout out is to our friends at Blue Label Comics, our boy Pat Ray. On Instagram, he's CGC Blue Label Comics. He is a huge sponsor of the show. Also want to give a shout out to the Geeky Swag Shop for all the support that he's been giving us. He stopped by the show the other night and stopped by the restaurant the other night and hung out. Just a great guy. So, of course, CGC Blue Label Comics. Want to give a shout out to our boy Pat Ray and our boy June. So it's Friday night, man. Cheers to you. Cheers to everybody hanging out. Salute.
Everybody hanging out.
Salute, very Gary. Thank you very much
having
for
a good time.
us.
I have my daughter's cup with water in it.
That's fine. That's fine. I have water in it too. So
Me too.
Very Gary, you are a week gone from New York Comic Con.
Yeah, still feeling it.
Still, that's what I was going to ask you. Before we get started with everything that we have planned, do you have the Comic Con hangover right now?
Oh my God, it's been days. Yeah,
days, right?
Days. I never got sick, which is nice. The con crud.
Right.
Never got sick. And the whole time too, I was talking to my buddy, and I'm like, man, we should have had Purell here because just the amount of people that came through who like knew me through Instagram or through YouTube and just shaking hands and saying hello, and it was just crazy. I'm definitely still feeling it.
No, yeah. I hear you. So as you guys know, I've submitted tons of books from Terrificon, and I've been slowly getting those books back in. And I just recently got 2 books back, which are 2 magazine books, which I haven't gotten back yet. And I'll tell you the story behind that because every book has a story. In the mail right now, transiting from CGC here are 2 big books for me, which I don't have.
Still part of Terrificon.
Still part of Terrificon. I have my.
We already got all ours back. I got mine back.
Right.
Justin got all his back.
Correct.
What is it, value tier?
Yes. So the 2 books that I'm waiting on is my ASM number 2.
Okay.
And that was the 4.0 Purple Label of Death, right?
Okay.
So, Gary, I paid CGC to do the resto removal on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm waiting for it to come back. I don't know the grade. For those of you guys who are following at home, we don't, 3 Men in the Basement, don't find out our grades.
No.
I'll tell you what I'm hoping for. It was a 4 purple. If it comes back a 3 yellow label, I'm very happy and I'm flush financially. You know what I mean? Like for my investment.
So how did you get rid of the restoration?
I have no idea. CGC.
So you sent it to them, and
so I dropped it.
Did you know what the restoration was?
Yes. Shout out to Dennis 4 Comics, a huge fan of the show. When we were looking at it, he could tell where the color touch was. It was a black marker.
Okay.
It's the Vulture cover, so he was able to show me where it was. So I've never done resto removal when it comes to this. I can ask Gary about that in a second. So I'm thinking they're just going to like scrape it off or use some type of heat and moisture to get it off. But if it comes back a 3.0 for what I paid for it, I'm happy. Anything less than that, it's okay. I'm not going to trade the book. I'm not going to sell the book. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 2. My other book is FF number 4, First Doom, that I cracked, and that was a 3.
Wait. Number 5 is Doom.
Yeah, I apologize. Number 5 is Doom. Yes, I cracked it, and I had it pressed by Pat CGC Blue Label Comics because I thought Joe Sinnott was going to be there. Then when he wasn't,
that reminds me. No, go ahead.
Right, no. So then when he wasn't, I was not mortified, but I was a little upset. But the reality of it is I now have it pressed, and hopefully that book will come back a push, maybe a 4.0. I don't know. So those books are in transit. So keep a lookout for 3 Men in the Basement. And I do want to talk about a quick mail call that I got from my boy at Slab Stands. Now, I'm a huge accessory guy, right?
You think?
I got them all over the place. And there is no reason why everybody who collects CGC books or comic books should not have slab stands. Okay. They are just the perfect novelty for these slabs. So
how vertical do the stands keep the book?
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, from the side.
Right. So here you go.
Okay.
So when they're made when he makes them, and I'll show it to you. Here's the slab stand itself. It's a solid piece of wood. The label is on it. It's painted. And here's the space. He sends you these pieces right here, which have a name.
They're wedges.
They're wedges, and the wedges go in. Now
you can like shims.
Yeah, the little shims.
Yeah.
You can crack the shims to however you want to put the books, however vertical you want it. So
that's nice.
Yeah. So there we go. So that's that. If I were to switch it around, I could change it, but it's really cool because for all your key books, for the books that you really like, I would jump on it. So I just ordered 5 of them. I got the Mysterio. I've got the First Cold. I've got the first Fing Fang Foom. Beautiful, very well made.
Just a solid piece of wood?
Solid block of wood, all crafted. It has the directions on it, on how to stand it. It has the piece. I've got my Doom, first Doom, right there. I've got my Giant Size X-Men #1 right here, if you can see it. So I'm a huge fan of slab stands. Check them out on Instagram. Just really cool pieces because everybody wants to know how to display their books.
Yeah.
You get the frames, you get the stuff, but man, I'll tell you, for desktops, these are really cool. And for $22 compared to what you spend on a book to slab, what it's worth, $22 is a drop in the hat.
Make sure that's what he's charging.
Well, no, it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I hope it is.
Hope we didn't give everybody a discount.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm definitely getting an ASM 300.
Yeah, right.
I want that book displayed.
Right.
It kills me that it's in a box. I don't know how to display it. I don't have a place on the wall to mount it.
Right.
So to put that on a TV stand in front of my lazy boy would be fantastic.
Right. Absolutely. You can look at it all the time, So, and then TiVo reached out to me, asked if he had a Doctor Strange one. He absolutely does. And, I don't want to speak for him, but I'm sure if there's something that you would want, if you can send him the decal, he'll probably do it. But this is very well made and just a really cool product, and I absolutely believe in it. So that being said, I'm going to give a shout out to some people in the live chat. Right now, we got Discovery Bay. Thank you very much for everything that you do for us. Randy Sloan, Sith AF, Matt Forge, what's up? We got Roger Levesque.
Geeky Swag Shop.
Geeky Swag Shop is in the house. What's up, my boy? So I have 2 books.
TiVo's in.
Oh, Dark Lord himself is in, huh? All right. So I got 2 books that I want to unbox, and these are the Captain Britons, the first appearances of Captain Britain. One of them was a 9.0 that I bought from one of the greatest guys on Instagram, KP Henderson, and I had Erod press both of these books.
The official
CGC opening, right? And what you don't know, and I don't know if you don't know, but Chris Claremont was very big in this book, and also Jim Steranko was. So Jim Steranko, my boy. So I had both of them sign it. The 9.0 from KP Henderson had the mask. For those of you who don't know, this book had a mask in it that was like you put over your face, and it was a Captain Britain mask. And most of the time they were lost. The second one I bought. Was it
attached, something you ripped from the page, or it was just stuck in there?
I think it's just stuck in there. You know what I mean? It could be like one of those dot things that you pull out.
Yeah.
And then the second one I bought from my boys, Mike and Mark at M&M Collectibles. Huge fans of those guys. Big shout out to them. They're great guys. And this one was a raw book without the mask. And I think I had that one signed too. I honestly don't remember. So Steranko and Claremont both signed it. The second one, if it's an 8.5, I'm happy. The 9.0, I'm telling you, I think I'm going to get a bump at a 9.2 because Erod did his magic on it. Gary, do you see these books a lot at cons when you go? Do you find them, the Captain Britain one?
I haven't seen a lot of Captain Britain books. I think people are hoarding them. There's a lot of books. There's books that I always keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
And when I don't see them and I'm looking at real, big time vendors and I don't see them on their walls, it's because they're hoarding them.
Yes, right. Okay, I agree with you. And go ahead.
A good example is FF 48 and 49, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Vendors had like maybe 2 or 3, but I knew vendors who had anywhere between 10 and 20.
Really?
But they only put 2 or 3 on the wall, maybe the lower grades, and they priced them up a bit. So a lot of that happens too.
Right, absolutely. And I just want to give you guys a shout out right now because right now we're actually streaming live on the Facebook page for 3 Men in a Basement, which I think is really cool. That's something that StreamYard has worked on since their inception. So we actually are on the 3 Men in a Basement Facebook page, not the 3 Men in a Basement Cellar Dwellers, but the 3 Men in a Basement Facebook page.
Official.
Official page,
official
right,
page.
absolutely. So you know what? I'm done talking.
All right.
So what do we got?
So you have the no, just throw one in there. Don't throw it on the
God damn,
floor.
you know what I was going to do.
Jesus. I know you were going to throw it on the floor. So
Yeah,
this,
you saw that happen.
so the
right?
lesser of the two.
The
You
lesser
said
of the
you had
two.
one that was all right.
I have one that I thought was the 9.0, and I might get a bump. The lesser of the two, a solid 8.0, 8.5. I'm happy. All right, again, this book is a book I bought for investment purposes to help pay for something else at the price that I got it at. So 7.5, I'm good with, but anything less than that, I'm a little bit beat up. You know what I mean? So
All right.
so
8.5.
8.5.
But it says qualified grade.
Qualified.
What does that mean?
That Gary, what does the qualified mean?
It should note it on the top.
Missing the mask.
Oh, it's missing the mask. Okay, all right.
It's missing the mask.
Okay, so that's what it is.
That's why it says it's qualified.
All right,
Right?
so yeah,
That's what it says on there. And you knew the mask was missing.
And I knew the mask was
Did you
missing.
know you were going to get this?
The qualified? I did not.
No.
I did
Well,
not.
now we know.
I did not. Right.
If anybody else doesn't know, now you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they do the same thing if like the posters are missing in certain books and stuff? You would imagine, right?
No.
No.
Usually when posters are missing, it's because they're actual part of the book. So you're missing a page.
Gotcha. You're right.
A
Okay.
great example is Batman 181, the first Poison Ivy, has a pin up in the center.
Yes.
If you'll know if that's missing because it's usually a 0.5 and it'll note it.
Gotcha.
And then I believe Hobgoblin as well with the tattoos.
Tattoos.
Yeah.
Green label?
Right. Okay. I'm trying to get.
They're not a green. Is it a green? Shoot. If the tattoos are missing, it gets a different.
It does. That's
It
it. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was Chris Claremont story, Larry Lieber cover, Herb Trimpe, origin and first appearance of Captain Britain, distributed with the Captain Britain mask. It says signed by Claremont Steranko, mask missing. Okay, that's fine though, because I guarantee there's a lot of these that are missing the mask. So cool book, magazine quality, just something I'm going to hold on to. And I'll tell you, this book was on the long-term spec list of this character for the Lords of the Long Box. Shout out to the Black Knight and also Mikey Sutton for all the work that those guys have been doing for us. So Captain Britain could very well happen. And if it does, this is the book to own. So now here comes the bigger book.
Okay.
Okay. So, like I said,
Signed by Chris Claremont and Jim Steranko.
Yep. It was a
Includes
9.0.
the mask.
It was a 9.0. Now this paper is different. It's different than comic book paper. It's more of like newspaper that it was printed because it was a larger one. Came out in 1976. So I'm hoping for a 9.0. 9.2, I'm real happy. Roger, what am I getting right there?
9.4.
9.4! Yes, baby, that is huge.
Yeah.
Shout out to E-Rod.
That's a 4 point.
That is
bump,
a 4
man.
point. That is a 0.4 bump. Double size.
Double-
That's a two grade bump, man. That's huge.
Two great bump.
Huge.
E-Rod did work on this, man.
It's good
Holy
stuff, man.
shit.
Congrats.
Sorry, family show. I apologize for that. But yeah, man. That is huge from a 9.0 to a 9.4, man. And, Steranko's signature is tight. And just so you know, I like Steranko. I think he's a great guy. I had him sign it first because I always want to give him placement. And
He
I
has
knew
a beautiful
Claremont.
signature.
Yes, he absolutely does. And it's very funny. When Steranko signs stuff, he's a very big showman, right?
Oh, God,
Like,
yeah.
You're right. Like he asks you what color he wants, and then he grabs the pen, and you watch him, and it's like a bartender, making up a drink or something like that. He'll take the pen and he'll like he's like lighting up his lightsaber or pulling out something. He snaps it back. He gets a little snarl in his lip. So I had him sign it first, and he'll definitely do all that.
Good
So
stuff, man.
so from a 9.0 to a 9.4
With the signature.
with this double SIGs, this is something that I've got to look up.
Did it look like it could use a bump?
It absolutely did. And what happened was the back was really dirty and it had a lot of creases in it. So when I bought it from KP Henderson, he sold it to me at a very, very great price. And I was like, okay. And then I was looking at it. And when E-Rod did his work, he goes, I cleaned this book up. And I was like, all right. And I looked at the page difference and maybe I'll do a video on it about the page quality. And I'm like, dude, that's definitely getting a bump. But I haven't had a bump like that, a 0.4 bump, 2 grades, in a while. So that's a huge book, and that's fantastic.
And my Teen Titans 12 got an 8.5.
Yeah, right. Modern book, right? So if you don't know,
Off-white pages.
Off-white pages, right, for a modern book. So yeah. So definitely excited about that.
Good stuff.
Again, shout out to Erod for doing what he has to do to make it work. So we are on the heels of New York Comic Con, and Very Gary, I'm going to throw up his logo, was there in full effect. And I actually tried to get your commercial on here too, but I couldn't do it. So there you go. Yeah. So Gary, now this is interesting because we had Justin on, and we get Justin's input from, a fan standpoint. Now we've never had a vendor on that, and that's why we love you, because you're such a good resource, because you are, you're a vendor, you're there, you buy books, you're a fan too. So, but this, you are strictly business, right, dude?
Yeah.
You are strictly business on this. Okay.
Yep.
So, and then so much strictly business that is when we had our swap, which was 2 weeks before, you bowed out from the swap because you're like, he goes, I got too much to do. I got too much to handle. And I totally respect that. Right. So
we missed you.
Yeah, we definitely missed you, man. You were definitely missed it. A couple of guys were asking for you. So now I'm going to give you the floor. Tell us everything about it from the minute you started packing up your truck, or the minute you got word and you realized, hey, man, I'm going to the majors, and then you go, and a little bit about it. So, like, whatever you say, man, we're here to listen. So let's hear it.
All right. So I'll start from loading up.
Yeah. So
I loaded up at the house. I had the Acadia, and that thing was packed to the gills. Like I said, I don't know if I posted a picture, but I took pictures. I had 11 long boxes in there. I had all my stands in there. I had stuff on the roof.
Dude, I'm sorry about that. No, I'm sorry. I don't have Justin around over the camera.
I had bungees everywhere. I couldn't fit another thing in there.
Yeah, load it.
So when I got New York Comic Con allows you to load up for 2 days, set up. Okay. So you have the show starts on a Thursday, so you can technically start on Tuesday.
Okay.
Bringing stuff in and setting up. So you have Tuesday and Wednesday to set up. I wasn't able to get down there Tuesday, so I was a little nervous because I've never done the show, and I've heard that load in and load out is an absolute shit show.
Gotcha. And now at Terrificon, is it a shit show?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Okay.
But Terrificon, I'm also there super early because I've done it before. I know the routine. I know where to go. Yep. New York, all my prep I usually do for these shows, like to get there on time, it didn't work for me for New York just based on work and whatnot.
Correct, right.
Okay. So we went down there. I had my wife with me. And what you have to do is there's 2 ways to load into New York, man. You either find a parking spot and lug it in yourself, or you put your name on the list and you wait in line on, like, is it 8th Ave? I don't know where you're waiting in line for your number to get called, and then you pull up to the loading dock. You put all your stuff on the union helps you put all your stuff on a pallet, and they wrap it in, the plastic wrap, and then they bring it to your booth and they drop it off, and you go park your car, and then all your stuff's waiting for you.
No way.
The amount of time it takes for that. I was talking to vendors that said they put their name on the list at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they got a phone call at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're ready for you. And by then, these guys have already parked their car, unloaded their stuff, and they're setting up their booth when they get there. Right. So I came down Wednesday, and we found a spot right in front. We got real lucky, backed right in. And the thing about loading into New York Comic Con, if you're going to load in yourself with hand trucks, you can't drop the hand truck to 4 wheels. You have to use 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
So it more than doubled my trips. Granted, I only had a 10-foot
like a flatbed or something, and that goes against their union.
Right. So what I ended up doing was my new stands actually have bases.
Yeah.
So I actually used the bases to extend the hand truck, and I was able to take twice as many boxes per trip.
Okay.
Worked out well, but still it was heavy as hell. I mean, I had 6 or 8 long boxes on this hand truck, and these things were full.
Now, did you have your boy Juan with you?
No, he was in Jersey all weekend for work. So it was literally me bringing everything in, my wife sitting in the car because you couldn't leave it alone.
Yeah, of course.
And then going back and forth. And the thing is, too, is like you load in on if you're facing the Javits, for those of you who've been there, if you're looking directly at the Javits, load in is on the left side of the building. Well, the comic book section is the far right side of the building. So you're literally walking the Javits with every trip.
Really? Oh my God.
I was 2 or 3 rows from the end of the Javits. So
God.
I'm going from the far left to the far right.
Right. Okay.
So I get everything there, and finally I'm on like my last trip, and I tell my wife, I'm like, all right, you're coming with me because you're gonna have to carry like one little thing while I have the hand truck. You know, it was the last bit of stuff.
Yeah.
We get in there, we drop it, and I don't think we were there for 5 minutes before somebody called us because we had to put our phone number on the dashboard.
Yep.
Saying your car is going to be towed. You have to have somebody here.
No way.
Oh my God.
So now my wife is racing all the way back.
Right.
She's taking the car. She moves the car. I'm setting up. And for her to find a spot now to actually park, she accidentally ended up in Jersey because she went through the tunnel by accident. Yeah.
No way.
So by the time she made it all the way back to me, so she parked the car next to her hotel, which was actually extremely convenient.
Okay.
Came all the way back to me. I was almost done already.
Really?
Yeah, and not only that, I had Comic Tom and Golden Age Guru had already come through and like looked through stuff. So I was kind of selling too while I was setting up.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. So it was a lot.
Unbelievable. I really like to, and then like to have your wife end up in Jersey to come back around.
And she's calling me, and I'm like, I got one hand on the phone. I'm trying to set up long boxes and tables with the other hand.
Right.
And I'm like rushing now because I was in line, right? So picture a con. So there's a corner, and I'm in line in between the two.
Yes.
My shit is everywhere. These guys are coming with their stuff. I feel bad because like I'm the new kid on the block.
Of course.
Everybody knows each other.
Right. And here you come.
So I'm like, all right. Right. So I'm trying to hurry up and put stuff where it's supposed to go. I got one hand on the phone, and I got
good as gold. So to know if you do it again.
Yeah, good as gold. Before we do it, I mean, you're going to talk about it some more, but would you?
Would I do it again? Yeah, because do you want to hear this whole story?
Yeah, no, we got to hear it all of it.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Got to live vicariously through you.
So, all right. So I'm all set up. The coincidences that happened too. We were going to the city anyway Wednesday night because we went to see Carrie Underwood at the Garden. Okay. So we had those tickets a year ago. My wife really likes her, so we had the tickets a year ago, and it all just lined up this way. So I set up, everything's set up, ready to go. We go to the concert and everything. So now, day one in New York, I couldn't sleep.
No, of course you can.
I could not sleep. I maybe slept for a few hours. I could not sleep. So I get there, show opens, doors open at 10 o'clock. I think I got there at like 7:30. 7:40, because I was up and I'm like, screw it, let me just go.
Yep.
So I got my cousin coming down to help me Thursday. My buddy's with me Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's day one. To walk in there with nobody there, with booths kind of set up, to be able to walk New York Comic Con with maybe 50 people in the building, maybe 100. I don't want to exaggerate. 100 people was incredible.
Yeah.
I went and so the first thing I did when I walked in is I walked straight to the XM booth, and I was just looking at these statues with nobody in my way, nobody pushing me, nobody taking pictures. It was quiet as a mouse in there. The only people in there were security and people like me who probably couldn't sleep the night before.
Right. Everybody's all fired up for being in there.
So I go from there, and then I go to my booth to drop my bag off and my sweatshirt, and I take bag off and I'm going to Sideshow. So now I go to Sideshow. Nobody's there. It's great. And I look at PCS toys too. And then what actually worked out amazing was the night before I happened to meet up with Jem.
Yep.
Well, I had an extra pass for him.
Yeah.
And he came Thursday. So I got him in super early with a vendor pass, and he was able to do all his videos early with nobody there, which was great.
No, that's a great idea.
So he got his videos out quick. He got all the footage he needed quick. No one's in the way. Nobody's pushing. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just the doors opened and the floodgates came in, and there were people by the droves. And on day two, when I walked in the door, I was talking to security, and the guy said day one had over 100,000 people in the building.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. It was,
and that's a Thursday.
And it wasn't sold out.
Right.
It was madness. It was crazy. By by Friday, my boy came with me.
Yep.
He came, my cousin came, so there was 3 of us. My cousin got a lot of original artwork, so he was floating back and forth between Artist Alley, and then he was trying to get like the Hallmark or exclusive ornaments, so he was doing that.
Correct, right.
And so he was floating around, and me and my boy, I mean, I think I left the booth like 2 or 3 times a day. That was it. Like I didn't want to leave the booth. I didn't want to miss a sale. I didn't want to miss anyone coming to say hello.
Correct.
Like I didn't want to do any of that. And let me tell you, man, the amount of Instagrammers and YouTubers who came just to say hello, nobody, you know, you don't have to buy anything. Just come say hello. And hey, it was unbelievable. The outpouring was phenomenal. Everyone was just amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
And I like that question.
What's
from
that?
Depulica.
Yeah. What's he asking?
He said, what was the biggest book you sold, and did you get anything stolen from you?
I was giving such good deals out. I feel like everything.
Oh, here we go.
I believe that.
Here we go.
The biggest book I sold, well, I mean, I'll tell you the whole story, but the biggest solo book I sold was Raw Werewolf by Night 32, and it sold like in the first hour of day 1.
Really?
And that was $850.
How much, Garrett?
$850.
$850. Okay, that's great because you know what later on we are going to talk about Werewolf by Night 32 and 33 as a long-term spec book, but it's already above and beyond. And Gary, at $850, right? What would you say that book would come back at graded? You know, because that's what I'm talk about.
Ooh, there's a bad echo. Probably 5.
5. Okay, there you go. All right. Yeah. Nice. Good. So you sold that right off the bat, and then you're like, all right, what else? Now, while you were there, what were the questions? Because Zap Comics out of Jersey put up a thing about what people were asking for. What were people asking you about? Like,
people were asking FF48, FF49,
right?
Shang-Chi.
Okay.
A lot of X-Men.
Really?
X-Men like Alpha Flight, Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost, not Silver X-Men.
Really?
Yep. They all wanted the Byrne, Claremont
era.
Yes,
that's exactly what Zap Comics said.
Yeah.
Zap Comics said 129.
129 was asked. Anybody who was there for X-Men books asked about 129, except one guy asked about the Gambit.
Okay.
Really?
So I'm telling you, so that's a book, right? That is, you know, a double first appearance, the start of, so that's a book that somebody knows something about, right?
Okay.
And I really think that.
Tell everybody what's in that book.
Well, that's the first time, that's the first Hellfire, right?
Yeah.
That is the start of the Phoenix Saga.
Yes.
That's the first appearance of Kitty Pryde.
Yep.
That's the first appearance of Emma Frost.
Yep.
And is it the rest of the Hellfire Club too?
I believe it's the whole Hellfire.
Shaw. Yeah, Sebastian Shaw, Leland, and stuff like that. So that's where we get into the Hellfire Club, and then from there you get into the Dark Phoenix Saga. But that's a book that has multiple first appearances, and could be a movie. But if people are asking about this, there's got to be some buzz around this that we don't really know about. You know what I mean? So
also, I sold an entire run of Eternals.
You
Talk
did?
about movies.
Wow. Yeah. Right. And we all know what that's from, but still.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Oh my God. All right. And then how about like, was anybody asking about like any like spec books that we talk about? Like, how about your First Annihilus? Were people asking about that?
Yeah. Vendors were asking me about that. And I had people coming up to me and saying, aren't you the guy with all the FF Annual 6s?
Yes, I am, by the way. Thank you.
Like, yeah, that's me. And then they have the audacity to ask, do you have any for sale?
Right. No, I'm hoarding that book.
Obviously, you don't know me.
Yes, clearly. Follow me on YouTube and follow my channel and stuff. Right. All right.
But I'll tell you the biggest part of my favorite part of the show. I shouldn't say my favorite part because I'll be honest with you. If I didn't make a nickel, the best part of the show was meeting everyone. And that is just, even my buddy was like, I can't believe how many people are coming to like talk to you, to see you, to say hi. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea. Like the community is outstanding. Yeah. Right. And I'm in a group chat, like my tight friends were in a group chat. And one of my friends asked my boy who was with me, like, hey, did you see any celebrities? Did any celebrities come by or any of that? And he's like, Gary is a celebrity. You know,
there you go.
So many people. And it's like, and it's great. And again, like not everybody spent any money. And I don't care about that. Like just just being BSing with people was amazing. You know, I'm sitting there on the floor at New York Comic Con talking with people who I know who their Instagram name.
Yes.
Finally seeing people. You know, No More Mutants on Instagram.
I think
He came through. Faustin Comics. He was around.
Really?
You know, like all these guys that I've talked to, dealt with, sold, bought from, all seeing them in person. I mean, this was the first time I ever met Jem in person.
Correct. Right.
Jem, and I've been working with him for years.
Of course.
You know, Dennis was there, like for comics. It was just crazy. Like one of these conventions, one time, I'm just going to write down everybody who
saw the NY Warriors came by, right?
Yeah, they were around.
Yep.
I mean, Justin was there. Nemesis.
Did your commercial too, man?
Oh yeah.
Commercial. And he was like, the guy's famous. Forget about 3 Men in the Basement. Forget about Lords of the Long Box. Yeah, he's doing commercials now.
He's Beyonce.
Yeah, he's Beyonce.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a great experience. And then you know, I sold, and this is what's crazy. Here, split the screen so you can come back on. I want to see you guys for this story.
Let me see right there. There we go. Perfect. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So for 4 days, I sold comic books left and right.
Yeah.
And with an hour left of day 4, I went to a vendor, offered him everything, and he cut me a check right there and bought every single book I had.
What?
And I went home with nothing but my racks and my tables.
Really?
That was it. Yep.
No freaking way.
You have no inventory left?
I have nothing left right now.
Get out of here.
What are you?
Yeah.
What are you?
I sold everything.
Dropping the mic? What is going on there?
I just starting all over.
No.
You got to be shitting
all those slabs you had, all those New Mutants 98s. Everything.
Gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The two Batman Adventure 12s, the 2 Venom, ASM 300s, the Avengers 4. What?
All your back issues, everything?
I have my $2 books.
Yeah, okay.
I have my spec books.
Right.
I have my personal collection, which is what you guys can't see.
Yeah.
And I have 2 short boxes of books priced between $5 and $40.
Yeah.
The only reason they didn't come is because I couldn't fit them.
No way.
Everything's gone.
Wow.
Holy shit, dude.
You got to be kidding me.
It's unbelievable. And now, was that number something like that? Was that number the flat out number you said, I'll take that? Or was there any negotiation? Or was there?
I had a number in mind.
Yep.
He wouldn't budge off of his.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what?
How often is that going to happen?
Yeah.
Gary,
so
stunned. God, drop the mic. There you go.
Yeah,
drop
kind of throwing us for a loop.
Holy cow, man!
You're out of business. What the hell?
And you know, I tried to hit the ground running. I wanted to write this down. I've got 2 collections to look at. I've got a guy with 7 long boxes and 3 shorts I have to go look at, and then I have a big boy, 60 short boxes and 30 short boxes of trades.
Holy cow!
So
wow.
Back at it.
So back at it again, baby. Yeah. Now you're flush, man. You're in the positive. I don't know if you're ever in the negative, but you're in the positive. You're cash flow positive. You're moving on. Oh my God, Gary!
What are you gonna do with your time now?
Yeah, really. God.
I don't know. Travel? I have no idea.
Hey, let's go. We're going to Disney.
Coming to Connecticut.
Yeah. Jesus Christ!
It was kind of. I'll be honest with you. It was kind of something I had in the back of my mind the whole time, and I was really close with a lot of the vendors I was around. I knew them all, and it was like halfway, 3/4 of the way through day 4, and I went to talk to my boy to ask him how loadout was.
Yeah.
And he wasn't there. There was somebody in his booth. I said, hey, you know where, so I don't want to use names, you know where so-and-so is? I'm looking for him. And he says, oh, no, he sold to us. I said, what?
What?
I said, all right. So I walked around to another vendor buddy of mine, offered him everything at my price. He said, look, I'd love to, but I want to walk out of here with money in my pocket.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, no problem. Went back to my booth. He called somebody, a buddy of his, another guy. Yeah. That guy came right into the booth and he started running numbers. Cut me a check right there.
Oh my God. I am stunned, Gary. If you would have told me I was going to grow hair tomorrow.
So 2 questions that came up. One, did the check clear?
Yes. Done.
And do you regret it at all?
No.
So you're happy with what you got for it?
I'm happy for me to get what I got. It would have taken me a long time. He's gonna make a lot of money.
Correct.
Right.
But it's going to be over time. I was able to make this quick flip. And like, I'm not going to talk about numbers or anything, but the one thing I will tell you, one thing I will say is I started last January. So I moved, right? I had a house. I moved. My wife and I bought this house. I wiped my comic book money out and put it into the house.
Yes.
So I started last January with $400.
Yeah.
That was it. $400. So to be able to take that $400 in less than 2 years and turn it into what just happened,
yeah.
If I say no, would I have made more money like in the long term? Of course I would have, because I would have been doing it.
You wouldn't have that in your pocket right now.
Right, no,
I'm like, let me take this money, let me put this in my pocket, and now I just took another step up. Like I can buy any collection that comes my way within reason. I mean, unless some crazy golden age collections coming through, but like I've got money in my pocket now where it doesn't matter. Like,
but you're not getting out of the game, right? You're just like, I'm gonna start over.
That's it.
For scratch, and that part of it's fun to you, buying collections and grading them, and you enjoy that, right?
Yeah. If I go look, like this guy's got 60 short boxes. He told me straight up, he's like, look, I don't have anything silver or bronze. Everything's over the last 20 years. But I've got some cool books. They start around like my Walking Dead run starts at 50 and is straight through. I'm like, okay. That's great. You know, think of the amount of keys that came out over the last 20 years. Yeah, there's no silver books. And that's just one collection. Granted, it's 60 short boxes. It's going to be.
No, which I think, though, are obtainable books, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want the books that are going to sell, right? Some books at such a high grade, I hate to say this, but, you know, it's great that if you have those books, but some books, big keys are at such a high grades, they're outpriced. Price yourself, right?
This is the thing. I had two ASM 129s there, an 8590.
Yep.
They're expensive.
Right.
They were like 1,600 and 2,000. Like nobody really, you know, I had an Avengers 4, right? First Silver Age cap and a 7.0.
Jesus.
That's an expensive book.
What's that, around 20, 27, maybe 32?
It was like 20. I had it at 3,000.
Yeah. So 7 to 30.
GPA was like 22 or 23, but that's not a book you can GPA because it never sells. So
how many shows are you going to do where people come or are able to spend that kind of money on a book?
Right.
Not, you know, I was expecting them to sell it in New York.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, technically they did.
Yeah. But, I know. Big books were sold.
But you sold some good books before that happened, you know.
Oh, yeah. I sold, I'll be honest with you, most of the books I sold were raw. And the amount of people that said, I don't want my book graded, which was astounding. And I told people straight up, I'm like, oh, you want this raw?
Yeah.
I'll open it for you if you want. It's going to be the same price. But at least you know the grade.
Oh, I love that.
That's funny.
Before we go any further, though, I want to give a shout out to a bunch of guys in the live chat that are, you know, just hanging out with us or new. So we've got Dead Poolica. We've got Peter Porker, Johnny Dakota, Geeky Swag Shop. Can't get enough. Thank you very much. Mr. Wobbles is here. Good as gold. Johnny Dakota. Alex Perez, Erod. You know, you got me a 9-4, buddy. I hope you know that. Wobbles, Oof Vitz, Audie Russell, and just like that. So, guys, thank you very much. Please smash the like button, you know, share our videos and stuff like that. We're going to do a giveaway in a couple minutes.
Just like Tom King said. Don't just watch. Subscribe, man.
Just like Tom King said. Right.
Long time friend of the show.
Long time friend. Right.
Tom King.
Gary, Tom King, the artist.
The guy would have walked by if it wasn't for Gary and Justin.
Yes. He really would have. I would have been like, who's this dude wearing a Batman shirt? You know, unbelievable. Yeah. So your collection is not, well, that's unbelievable. I do want to ask, there was a couple of questions in the live chat. Oh, man from Beantown. Ben, what's up, buddy? King of the Golden State. Adam, yeah, man. Fett is in the house, too. Were people asking for DC books?
Yeah.
Okay. And what were those?
Yeah, it was mostly Marvel. Dude, every Joker cover I had sold.
Really?
Opening weekend. A lot of people were asking for Batman 251, which is the Neil Adams.
Of course.
I sold the what is it, Tech 30 or Tech 31, the cover swipe that Neil Adams did.
Yes, right.
What's up, King of the Golden State?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that who I sold it to?
No. I just give him a shout out.
Yeah. Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. There were definitely DC fans there, man. A lot of people kept looking at my first Jonah Hex, but again, it was a higher grade. It was pricey and it was raw.
Now, what's your first Jonah Hex?
What was it? It was it was probably like a 7.5.
It was raw,
Okay,
though.
right. It was raw.
Raw.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that book. I'm a fan of Jonah Hex. I have that. That was
I actually like the cover.
I do. I absolutely do. And that's a book.
It's a Western cover.
It's a Western cover, All-Star Western. I forgot what number it was. That was one of the first books I ever bought off Instagram. I actually bought that from Bobby Wolverine.
Really?
Back in the day, yeah, because Batman Brave and the Bold, that cartoon was absolutely fantastic. And that came out like 7 or 8 years ago. Everett was young at the time. He absolutely loved it. And that Jonah Hex episode was fantastic. So I bought that. It's an 8.5 for me. So that's a book you don't see a lot of. Now, Gary, when you were there, big books, did you see lots of AF-15s? Did you see lots of ones? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I saw AF-15s. I saw Torpedo Comics was there, and they have just a ton of stuff. There was those crazy Holy Grail books all in high grade that it's cool to look at, but
yeah, right. Whether or not you're going, well, I don't know about anybody else watching the show. It's not going in my pocket. You know what I mean? So, price that out. So, now were people asking about Giant Size X-Men #1? X-Men 4? Yeah. Don't you agree?
Giant Size X-Men 1.
Yeah, Giant Size X-Men 1 is just blown up.
If I had one, it would have sold.
Yeah.
For what reason?
Well, Giant Size X-Men #1 that's all their first appearances other than Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That is
Nightcrawler, Storm, Colossus,
Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why now? Like,
I don't know.
It's not I could understand that, 10 years ago when these movies were starting to come out and these characters were hitting the big screen, but why now? What's happening now that didn't happen 10, 15 years ago?
Who knows about the mutants,
well, it's cheaper than the 181.
Correct. Right. 181 is price you off, and now, well, 180 now is becoming anybody.
A lot of people ask for 180.
Really? Yes.
A lot.
Okay. Right. Now,
which should be the first appearance.
First, yeah, right. So, I mean, that's something that we can go, debate about. Now, did you see a lot of those in the whatchamacallit here? Like, did you see a lot of vendors with the 180s or?
I actually didn't notice. I'll be honest with you. So, I didn't walk around a lot except before the show.
Oh, you did say that.
The only time I saw these books were when they were in display cases with locks.
Oh, right, 100%.
Are you right? Because now Marvel owns the X-Men.
Yeah, I believe that.
It could be. People are specking on it, and Marvel owns it. So now it's going to become bigger or better movie.
Correct. And you know what? Right now, I'm reading House of X and Powers of X, and it is. I read a new story here and there. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
This Hickman stuff is just out of this world. I don't know if anybody in the live chat is reading it right now. Just getting a little bit off topic, but I can't get enough of it. It's just fantastic the way they're bringing all these different characters into it. Gary, you're not reading anything new right now, are you?
No, I'm just enjoying my free time.
Yeah, right. Buying collections, driving around, Big Willie, Pippin.
Lot of room in your house now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. You should say that. I said that in my head. I'm like, as it's going back and forth, I'm like, this dude's going to give me this much money to free up space in my house and free up my time. I'm like, how do you not do this?
Now you don't know what to do it yourself.
Right. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So then that brings us back into why you're not doing Baltimore. You really have nothing to bring to Baltimore.
I have nothing to get graded. I do have 5 copies of FF Annual 6 Raw that I do need to get graded, but like
stop. Hold on. You have all those slabs, which I think you probably have a dozen slabs.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I have 19 total.
Okay. But hold on a second. So I think you have a dozen slabs, or maybe you have 14 now. And now, how many more Raws do you have?
5.
You are a pig, dude.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Hey, Jem did say it right, man. You are somebody who is definitely buying that book in the expectation that he is the next big baddie, which is very possible. With
all right. Just think of it this way, though. This is how I'm going to sell this book to you. Not that you have to, right?
I'm hunting them. I'm getting your scraps. I'm like that little minnow that swims around the shark.
Somebody has one for sale on Instagram for $200, but I think he's a tad high for the grade.
Okay.
But all right, so it is the first appearance of a nihilist who I think is showing up, right?
Yes.
It's also the first appearance of Franklin Richards. Like, that's a big deal. He hasn't been in any movie.
Dude, they talked about Franklin Richards in the Hickman book in the X-Men. So
yeah.
Okay.
So there's 2 first appearances, and Annihilus is on the cover.
Yeah, you're right. He's on the cover. It's a square bound book too. You know,
yeah, it's hard to get in high grade.
Hard to get in high grade. What's your highest grade, Gare?
An 8.0.
8.0. Okay. And so I have a 3.5 and like a 5.5, I think.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Nice. Real nice.
You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. Yeah. But again, it's a book that, you know what? That's the average for that book, though, right? Like, you know, I don't know what's in the CGC census.
I haven't looked at the census, but I'll tell you, like, and all these raw ones I have, they're in that 4 to 6.5 range. Like, they're not high, ultra high grade.
Okay.
I mean, square bound books. Plus, they were being read. You know, it's
right. And it's something. Now, speaking about another book that you've been hoarding, First Green Goblin. Did you see a lot of those?
I actually sold all mine.
Yeah, not to me. This guy's at every level.
Did I see a lot of those?
Where was this guy at Terrificon?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that many of those.
Oh, okay. All right. No. And then what was a book that you saw everybody had one? Was it a New Mutants 98 or
that's a good question. I didn't walk around a whole lot. You know, I didn't even see too many Shang-Chi's. I had 2 and they both sold.
They both sold quickly, or did they sit there for a while?
I think by midday Saturday they were gone.
Okay. Right. Hey, listen, that's something I do want to talk about. So Thursday, Friday is when Justin goes. He doesn't go Sunday, but
he doesn't go Saturday.
Yes.
No, everything. Justin switched it all up. He was there Thursday, Friday, Sunday, or Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Saturday, Justin. Or sorry, Gary. Was Saturday that much crazier than every other day? Can you talk about that?
Saturday was my worst day of all 4 days.
Really? Because that's a lot of
sales wise or experience?
Sales wise.
Yeah, those are the tourists, right?
Yeah.
Don't you agree, Gary? Those are the
Yeah, my best day.
What can I get for free? Who can I take a picture with?
Yeah.
Dude, Thursday and Sunday were my best days.
Wow. Right.
So Thursday you had the guys buying.
Yeah.
Right. Then you had the same people who were shopping all weekend, and then Sunday did their big purchases. Like Sunday was very busy.
Okay.
Very busy.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a good busy. It was
fun. Were people asking about the first appearance of She-Hulk?
Yo, yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I'm hoarding first Tarantula. He's coming. Yeah, he's coming out.
He might.
He's gonna come. Once Spider-Man is, Sony destroys all that.
Yeah,
Tarantula's gonna come out.
That's a good idea. That's another spec book.
I'll make an extra $10 on it.
Another spec book. Yeah. Oh, that's unbelievable. Lots of cosplay. Did you see some good cosplay?
I didn't, but again, at New York Comic Con, all the comic book vendors are in the front right.
Gotcha.
So, like, as I'm scrolling Instagram, like, days after, I'm like, whoa, where was this person? Whoa, where was this person?
So you didn't have a chance to walk around and just kind of enjoy for a couple hours?
I didn't want to.
It was
crazy. You could walk around the comic book area I don't want to say freely. I mean, you guys know how Terrificon is. So you know how Terrificon is on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's how kind of the comic book area was, maybe a little bit lighter than that.
Right.
But when you left that comic area and you went into the toy section, when you went into the let me see, like the statues, like everywhere else, it was packed.
Really?
It was crazy.
That is how this whole thing is turned.
Yeah.
You're telling me that there's more.
Like, I also heard that when you sign up for a booth, you're trying to get a booth and all that, the reps are asking you, what are you selling? Which they have to know anyway. And they don't want you selling pops. There's too many of them.
Really?
Selling what? Oh, Funko Pops?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't want you selling all your comics and having a Funko stand in the corner. They don't want that.
Okay.
They wanted to keep the comic book people with the comic book people, which is what they did.
Yes.
Lessons learned.
Right. Lessons learned. Absolutely.
Who wants to know? Good as gold wants to know if there's any lessons that you learned.
Yeah, I learned don't sell stuff too cheap at the previous shows because I can get rid of all of it in New York.
Boy, does that just screw up for Terrificon?
Yeah, really, man.
Don't even stop by Gary's booth at Terrificon, apparently.
Or the next swap that we have, or something like that.
I want to know, Gary, was there anybody? So you didn't have a chance to walk. You must have walked on at least a little bit. Is there any like famous people, celebrities that you were like, I just want to swing by and see this guy?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
It was mayhem, man. There was too many people. It's crazy.
All right, I get it.
Here's like if you've never been to New York Comic Con and you're there for the comics, stay there.
Yes.
Stay where the comic books are.
Okay.
Because the second you start going off, and you're gonna want to,
it's like leaving the Shire for Lord of the Rings, like
right?
You go,
you're gonna want to. You're gonna go. You want to go to Sideshow. You want to go to XM. You want to go see PCS Toys. You want to go to the Image booth, the Marvel booth. You want to go to all these things. It's just packed.
Okay,
it's packed.
Right. That's interesting. Anyway, yeah.
And then as crowded as it is inside, it's just as crowded outside.
Right.
So be careful out there too.
You're in the city, so. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Gary. Gary just gave us a lot of information about this. It was really fun. That's really cool. You know what? We got over 50. We got about 50 people online right now.
I know.
We are going to do a giveaway. I got 2 books to give away. You want to show what we're giving away?
Yeah.
We're going to give away this Detective Comics
44.
Yep. Vintage cover
Pretty
right
cool
there.
Cover.
Yep.
And this Deceased One Batman cover.
Yep. So we're going to give those 2 books away. And
I think this is a Bettina cover.
Yep, Bettina cover, Deceased. Yep.
I don't know if he stole from anybody or not, but
yeah,
good as gold. Artist Alley at New York is outstanding, but again, that's packed too. So, and I heard that the CGC lines that CGC straight up shut down. So we're not taking any more submissions.
Really?
At the end, at certain points of the days, that if you wanted a witness, it was like a 2-hour wait. It was just crazy, which is good for the hobby. Look at this, right? I mean, phenomenal.
Well, I mean, because I'm not waiting in those lines. So,
well, people want to get to stuff that, like somebody Erod was saying.
Well, no, what you do actually is you put your name on the list. They take your number and you go enjoy the show, and they'll text you or call you and say, "Hey, it's your turn. Come on down." And you gotta go.
Yeah, but I'm talking about more so. Not necessarily getting something CGC, but if I wanted to have a remark or something done, I'm not going to be able to wait in those lines to have that done.
Yeah.
Well, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to go to New York to do those things, but at the same time, you have the greatest collection of talent.
Yeah, because there's artists there that don't come to this part of our country. You know, I'm not going to Terrificon and meeting Jim Lee, or I'm not McFarlane. I mean, McFarlane to me would be the guy that I want to have stuff signed by, and he's not going to come to Terrificon.
Right, yeah.
He also doesn't CGC, just so you know.
Yeah, so he's still get a signature or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
If you want to meet him, I signed up for that lottery. I did not win.
No, well, that's it. So here's our question, right? So hit me up. My spouse lets me buy comics. That's the best. So here's the question to you guys. And since it's the weekend of the Joker, I have not yet to see it. I will see it this weekend.
Oh, I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, you saw it already?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I have to see it.
We have not seen it, so
we've got that on. Like so we have to sequester that. But I'm a huge Batman 66 fan. Like Batman 66 is what I grew up to. So my question to anybody in the live chat, and then respond to me on Instagram at Everett_Otto. With your address if you win this, and I'm going to monitor it in the StreamYard live chat. So here's the question. During the filming of Batman 66, Cesar Romero, they're in the movie, Cesar Romero absolutely, as the Joker, refused to do something.
Yeah.
Okay? Tell me what that something was in the live chat, and you will win these 2 books. All right? So Cesar Romero refused to do something during the filming of the movie in the live chat. So Roger's got to.
Yeah. Very Gary with the correct
Gary
question.
Wins it. He knows it. So I'm going to get these books off to you.
No, I don't want them.
No, you don't want them?
How did you know that?
Because I'm a Batman fan.
Yes, absolutely. So that is true. Cesar Romero.
All right, so next, Sith Lordly.
Ask another question.
Sith Lordly.
No,
there you go.
Sith Lordly was the second one.
Yeah.
To come in. All right. So Sith, you are the winner of these 2 books. Hit me up on Instagram.
Oh, Thunder God. I met that dude. Yeah, he was awesome.
Yes. See, so he did refuse to shave his mustache. And when you watch it.
Yeah, they had to put makeup over it to cover it up.
They had to put the white makeup over it. Yeah, absolutely. So
A lot of people knew that. It wasn't just me.
No. It was. That was a
So fun fact about Batman 66.
Yeah, which we all love. You know.
I know the TV show really. So my wife's uncle was a villain in the old Batman series. He wasn't like, he never was like anybody big. He was always like a thug or whatever. But
Thugs are classic characters.
They're classic characters. And that gentleman his name is Joey Tata.
Right.
Gary, do you know who Joey Tata is?
That I don't know.
Joey Tata was Nat from 90210 who owned the Peach Pit.
Yes.
Oh,
That's my wife's uncle. And he was
that's
actually a
crazy.
villain. And one of the things that was cool is I actually have one of the scripts from the Batman.
You absolutely do.
I have the script, and we were going to take it to Terrificon and have both of them sign the script. And Adam West passed
and
away.
Adam West passed away. Before.
Yeah.
That was just unbelievable. That'd be such a great thing to collect.
Yeah,
I do. I have an Adam West Burt Ward signs Batmobile.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I actually met Adam West twice, and I've had a lot of great experiences in my life. And this, by far, meeting Adam West and having a conversation that I had with Adam West when I went and met him, is by far, like, you talk about my wedding, the birth of my kids, meeting certain people, Stanley, having a conversation with Adam West and what he said to me, and the conversation that I had with my kids in front of me with him, probably one of the top 10 things ever. You know what I mean? That I've done. So that's just really awesome.
picture him having a conversation like he did on Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, right.
Nobody told anybody I was Batman. They just knew I was Batman.
Yes, right. Yeah. So,
what's your favorite Joker cover? Mine's Batman 251.
251. Yeah, who's asking that right there?
Anthony Garcia.
Yeah, all right.
Oh,
stop it.
Well. Look who it is.
Hello, boys and girls.
I was gonna
Welcome to
ask
the
about
Nemesis
this
Prime Show.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Anyway, Joker is a fucking masterpiece, and that's
All
not
right,
coming
all
from a
right.
DC
We're not,
fan.
Yeah, we're not discussing that though. Right now.
That's fine.
I'm gonna say one thing about Joker, and it's not spoiling anything. It's not it's not like any superhero movie you've ever seen. I can tell
I'm
you.
not quite sure anybody thought it. At least I didn't think it was.
No, but don't. I mean, it's not. You know, I thought the same thing going in. Okay, I know it's not a superhero movie.
Yeah.
That's I don't know how else to describe it. It is not in that realm. It is not in there's no part of it is it superhero-esque.
Okay.
None of it.
I mean, that's the feeling I got. I got the feeling that it has nothing to do with any of the other movies or worlds and
again,
universes, and it had nothing to do. Like, that's the feeling I got. Like, this is a movie that's completely separate and has nothing to do with superheroes.
It's a movie that can win awards.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's not superhero-esque. Like, Justin, how do you describe it? Like, I don't want you to think like there's men in capes running around.
No,
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the way it is portrayed, the way it's shot, the way it's acted, the way it's written. Nothing. Zero.
Yeah, the cinematography is amazing.
Yeah.
Just the grittiness, it's the God. How do I want to put this without putting it like the Fight Club-esque?
Yeah,
that's
anyways.
Like it's such a great movie. I mean, like you understand him, like you feel for him.
Right.
I mean, there's things that he does in the movie that people are gonna be like, that's corny or whatever, but like everything there's a reason for it.
There's a reason for everything. That's interesting. Okay.
But it's so good. It's definitely amazing. He, even before, like, I mean, I knew going in, like, first of all, Joaquin Phoenix was going to be a great actor in this. I knew it was, and it was going to be great. And then for the past week, I mean, I didn't see it on release day, but for the past week, I've heard from people that have said it was an amazing movie who are comic people like all of us.
Correct. Right.
So that I knew for them to say that just goes to show that this is not like a Marvel movie. This is, not a comic book movie. It's just a great film. It's a film. That's what it is.
Did they show the DC logo before it started?
No.
I don't remember.
No, they didn't do like the whole little intro.
Okay.
I mean, obviously I tried to pick apart little things. I mean, like for Easter eggs, there's really nothing, nothing in there.
Very little.
Yeah. I mean, like they have like Robinson Park,
Okay.
But that's there's very little things, but it's just it's a great movie.
All right. We're going to see it tomorrow.
You can bring somebody who doesn't like superhero movies to go see it, and they're going to enjoy it because it's not it's like a drama filled like I don't know.
Is it action though? Is there a lot of action in it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not really, but I mean, I'll just say this. I mean, I just saw it with the wife. I mean, she absolutely loved it, and she hasn't loved the movie in a very long time. And she's like, I would go and see that again. That's how good it was.
Really?
Yeah. And she's not a comic book person, so
No, she's not.
No, we've come to learn that.
Justin, Justin decided to join us. Gracious with his presence.
Oh, well, look who it is.
Yeah. Could you give King of the Golden State a wrench while we're watching this?
I can't. Yeah, I have to go into like another video. So he knows that as long as he's commented on another video.
Yeah, he's definitely commented. Give him.
All right, we'll look for it. I'll do that while we're here. So
all right, so
glad to be on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. As you missed this, Gary. Can I tell Justin what you sold at New York?
Yeah, you tell
him. He sold his whole collection.
What?
Yeah, he dropped that on us today.
Yeah,
all those books that you had at the end.
Well, no, not my personal collection.
No.
But everything that you had at the show.
Yeah, he said he walked away from the show with just his tables and his things that held his.
Let me guess. Was it Mike Carbone? Whatever his name is, Mike.
No,
Carbone.
he didn't tell us.
No.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say who bought it. I will say I didn't talk to that guy on purpose.
Okay.
Greg Reed.
Like it. No.
Anyway, so my boy Mono was there.
Okay.
With George Comics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They bought 2 books. He did a trade with Reese's Rare Comics for. He got actually a Werewolf by Night 9.4, which he traded for some good stuff. So yeah, he did get that. So even there was a lot of people there. So that was it. You know what I mean? Justin was there for the 3 days, except for Saturday. We had talked about that. Justin, what was your busiest days of New York City? Like, you go in, just give us a quick 5-minute recap of what do you think?
I mean, Thursday, me and Dave in the Cave, we ran around, did nothing besides signature CGC. Walk with Gary. I got some books real quick.
You filmed a commercial.
That was Saturday.
That was Saturday.
That was Saturday. I'll tell you, Saturday was probably the busiest day because it was the first time that I was there from opening at 10 o'clock until about 6 o'clock. I was there with my friend Eric. It was his first New York Comic Con ever. Yeah. So, I wanted to show him a good time. Like, he's gone to these like smaller shows like the East Coast Comic Con and the Morristown show, but he's never been to New York. So I really wanted to show him like a good time. So instead of like me kind of taking up the time and being like, let's go here, I got to do this, I want to do this, I was just like, let's just like walk around, and I brought him to Gary's booth. He bought a bunch of like Thor and Hulk stuff. We walked around. We literally went from one end of the Javits Center to the other end, went downstairs to Artist Alley, all over the place. So it was a good time. I mean, and he liked it. So he would love to go back.
How'd you do at the blackjack table? Oh, wrong Comic-Con.
Yeah, wrong Comic-Con.
I didn't even see Dave on Thursday.
Yeah, we walked up to your booth.
No, I saw him. I don't think I saw him on Thursday. I saw you.
Oh, that's odd. I could have sworn we definitely came back. Friday, he was there by himself.
Did I see him? There was a day I handed him the Green Goblin. I don't know if that was Thursday.
They bought the first Green Goblin. Stop.
That was that was Thursday. Yeah, no, that was Thursday because he came in late. And I know because I first walked up to you, I said that.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
My bad.
Yeah, don't. Hey, Dave, if you're watching this or if you're rewatching it, don't be insulted that Gary didn't remember you.
Yeah. It's not a lot of people. It's very popular.
Yeah, it's a lot of people there. People want to know.
So at one point, let's talk about this.
The flowing red hair.
At what point do you guys decide, hey, let's film a commercial? And
that was Alan. That was my boy.
Okay, so he did all that on his phone?
Yeah, he did all that on his phone. He's like, well, I need somebody to do this, that, and another thing. I said, well, I'm going to know somebody here soon. Yeah. Because it was Saturday because, dude, Mango was there. Jem was there. All my boys were there. Right. But Justin was the first one to walk up. And I was like, oh, Justin.
Threw that in the basement shirt.
Yeah. And I'm back. Backpack.
He's in a commercial.
Looking at dollar books.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And you know what's funny, too? This is just sheer coincidence. Me and my boy and the entire booth and everything are going to be in next year's New York Comic Con commercial.
Yeah,
like they filmed us for next year's commercial. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Don't they commercial all your books?
Yeah, really. I'll get another collection. So
I've got a year to get some more.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Oh my God, I've done Thursday.
A little less than a year to get to Terrificon.
Yeah, I bought Thursday. It was a good day.
I'll be there. Actually, I'll be paying for that booth in January, so don't worry.
Yeah,
There you
say,
go.
whether
Gary,
you have a
I
booth
do have
or
a
not.
question. So Gary, now that you're in, are you always in for New York? Like I'm saying, like personally, you can refuse it. Will they always ask you, or you can refuse?
You have to sign up and get okayed.
Is there a wait list?
So-
Are there people that don't get in New York?
I bet there is. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
did you have?
I just got in
waiting
because I
list,
know
Gary, or
somebody in... What?
Did you get on a waiting list? Have you been waiting to get in there? Or is this the first
No,
time?
I got in because I knew somebody. That was how it all happened.
Of course.
So
That's how the world works.
Hmm.
Well.
So let's switch gears.
actually, I was going to talk about upcoming shows and shit real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Justin, I'm definitely doing East Coast next year. That's already paid for, and I'll have the same spot.
That's
Terrific.
good. Oh, you're perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that spot was great. Will be paid for in January because that's when they open up booths. But I actually, and I don't know if you guys are interested in this, if it's worth the trip for you or not, but in 27th of October, there's a free show in my mall in Poughkeepsie, and Joe Sinnott's going to be there.
Yes, really?
Yeah.
Your mall?
I don't think CG. So what we're going to try to do is my local comic shop is going to try to get okay through CGC to have a witness for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No guarantees that that's going to happen, but regardless, I'll have a booth there. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be selling, but I'll be there. But the fact that Joe Sinnott's there is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a free show. It's free. It's in the mall.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Sell your shirts.
I think it's a great idea. And I mean,
I don't have any more of those either.
Print them out, man. I'm long. You got a couple weeks.
So let's say Joe Sinnott's going to be there, right? And even if you don't have a CGC witness, as fans, you really should have something signed by him, even if it's not great, or a little sketch or a poster. Like, I'm sure he's going to bring his posters. One of my prized possessions is something I bought in Rhode Island many years ago. I bought a Doom print, a black and white Doom print by him, and it was one of like 500. And I bought the first copy. Like, I went right to his booth, and he signed it to me, to the Hillmans, Joe Sinnott with his signature, 1 of 500. And I'm sure he's going to have a signature too. Right, absolutely. So I mean, I definitely missed the fact that I missed out.
You didn't buy 500. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I really just handed them all. Make it raise.
No.
Yeah.
1 and 500.
500, right. I don't know.
All 500.
No, I was more starstruck than anything, But
I'm gonna ask him to do a for me because he did a Thor for me, a Thor bust a few years ago, and I want to get a Loki from him, like a companion piece to go together.
Right.
So that's what I'm hoping for.
Really cool.
I'll buy $2 books, and I don't know what else I'll have there.
Hey,
You got 12 $2 books.
Right, and if you paid $1 for those $2 books, you're making a profit, right?
That's all I have is $2. Unless this collection, I'm going to look at this one on Sunday, man. So 60 short boxes, all from the last 20 years. There's keys in there.
Now can I ask you, and you can be very vague if you have to, did you find this on Facebook, Craigslist, or was this a reference to you, how you found this collection?
I don't want to talk about
That's
that.
fine, no problem. I agree. Because there's so many different avenues now. You
You're
got
so secretive, Gary.
I have
Right, no,
I have multiple avenues to find stuff.
correct.
But
Right.
everyone's got to realize too. Finding this stuff is just the first hill to climb. You
Yep.
still have to look at it. You still have to negotiate a price.
Correct.
You still have to do the work after. The amount of crap you get with every collection. Like, I'll tell you right now, there's 60 short boxes there, right?
Correct.
If this dude bought a lot of obscure titles that nobody cares about, I'm going to have 25 or 30 short boxes of crap. And then I might have another 20 boxes or 25 boxes of $2 stuff, which needs to be bag boarded and organized. And that leaves me with a short box of keys, which is still
and you're buying them from somebody who probably thinks they're going to retire from what you're going to sell it for.
Right.
Like, everybody
And
thinks they're hitting the lottery when they have some books that they can sell.
Right. And then you're trying to negotiate. You have to negotiate and think about not only giving this guy the money, but your time. And then you need to talk about, if you're sending just a dozen books out to CGC, you're talking about another $200 on top.
No, trust me.
And then bags and boards, and just your time is worth money.
Correct.
So to sit there and organize stuff is worth something, and it's just got to be worth it.
Yeah, you're not a comic shop, so you don't have like staff that can do that. I mean,
No,
it's you. It's not you're having your kid do it.
Discounted price.
Yeah, we're
out in the basement. We'll work for comics.
I'll work for.
We'll work for.
I did have a buddy of mine do that.
Yeah.
I'll work for.
Well, I was paying a buddy of mine in comic books, and I think I overwhelmed him. I gave him like, I think 12 long boxes of stuff to be bag boarded and organized, and like I got it back just organized.
Right.
And not even numerically, just like, okay, here's all the amazing Spider-Man. They still need to be bag boarded and put in order. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Gotcha. No, hey,
have you guys talked about Baltimore?
No, that was the next thing we're going to talk about. That's a great segue, Justin.
I'm glad I'm
Other
here.
than we heard that Gary is not going.
We are going to talk about Baltimore Comic-Con. And I was very taken back when our good friend Gary said he wasn't going to be there.
Not as much as when he said he sold all this shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, tonight was a great surprise. And I can see that coming. So.
He's like, you got to pay now. I need to see your faces when I tell you.
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Baltimore Comic-Con is right around the corner. We're very excited for it. Can't wait. It's going to be the first time that
I'm excited
going.
for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy it.
I appreciate that.
Hopefully you connect with Angel, Captain America on Instagram.
America. We got to hook up with him. There's a lot of people we want to hook up with.
No, you're going to have an amazing time. It's the best comic book show I've ever been to.
Isn't there a comic museum in Baltimore?
It closed.
It closed?
Giuseppe's, what's they're called?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Giuseppe's closed about a year ago.
Grails there.
Right around the time
never
I
be
wanted
able
to
to see.
Yeah. So we're going to go to Baltimore.
It's devastating.
We've got some on-site grading stuff. We've got some other things. I'm going to do a video next week of all the books that I got back from Erod for pressing and submission. So look out for that video. Justin, are you going to do the same as far as what you have?
I mean, we could definitely do even a live show. I mean, I have all my books for on-site literally stacked away. I mean, I could pull them, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather save it for another show. Yes. And then all the books that I have to get signature series. I mean, Adam Hughes is my number one. He's top of the list. So I'm at least going to bring like 4 or 5.
I thought I was going to be left out. And then last live show, Justin reminded me he has one of my books that he had.
Yes,
that he's going to submit for me.
So you got
First Tarantula.
Yep.
I told you I'm hoarding them. That's the next big book. You guys don't even know. That's the next big character.
You heard it.
If I come across any, I'll make sure to keep them aside for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
At a great price.
Can you submit it? Press it, have it slab for me.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Just wrap it up in a fair price.
Yeah.
So Baltimore's right around the corner. I got to tell you, I have by no means, you guys. I know I feel that I'm a cheap person. I'm maybe a little frugal, or maybe a little penny wise, or whatever. But when I saw the prices for the on-site grading, I was a little taken back because that's money that you're paying out. So I'm going to show those prices right now. So modern on-site is $35. Economy is 60, standard is 95, express I'm not messing with, or walkthrough. So 35 and 60. Gary, you did this for me last year, and I got great grades on my books. That's why I'm a huge fan of this. So do you remember if that was around the prices, or does this seem like it's, just
actually I could be wrong, but it looks like it's $15 more a book now or more.
Okay.
I think a modern is 20.
Yeah, normally no. These are the on-site grades. This is
right.
The prices.
So about $15 more.
Yeah,
they used to be $10 more because I guess they kind of considered it fast track, and that's fine. That's fair.
Yeah.
But this seems a little bit higher.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I thought that this was, a bit pricey, but again,
you're paying for the convenience.
Yeah, you are paying for the 100%. I agree.
$5 fast track is $5 as it is.
Correct.
You're paying $10. Fast track is 10.
Yeah.
So you're paying an extra $5 to have it done on site.
On site, right? Yeah. So
no shipping there, no shipping back to you. Not worrying about
and when
money.
when you do books at CGC, it's like $50 for shipping because they ship it UPS, FedEx with the insurance. It's outrageous.
And I will tell you guys, I did get screwed at Terrificon because I had so many books shift at different tiers.
Yeah, you had to pay for all that shipping.
Pay for all that shipping.
My
so
God.
Thank God I hit a blackjack table.
You know what that paid for? Your flight to Baltimore.
Yeah, it could be right. It could be. So I got a bunch of books. I've got some books, and the way I look at it as I have a few books that I bought as a spec. So not a spec, but I don't know how to say this. But so on Lords of the Long Box, we talk about like the collector series and things that we do. And we haven't had a chance to talk about this part of it, but I'm going to bring this up. So part of my game, part of my collecting thing is recognizing what Silver Age keys are when I go to shows and recognizing that, hey, you know what? This guy is selling this book. And I feel that this book is maybe a 4. That's what he's selling. But I can look at this book and hopefully without the restoration, I can look at this and say, with a good press and a good clean, this book might come back a 6. So I will buy that book raw,
go through the process
and make a little bit. I'm not going to make a lot of money, but I'm going to make something.
Well, I mean, sometimes you make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll tell you, I think this would be a good flip right now. You know what I mean? It wasn't 9.0, not signed. Now it's a 9.4. Yeah, $100. Anyway, so that's part of my game and what I like to do. So I do have a few books that I am going to do this for at Baltimore, and that's how I'm going to pay for my on-site grading. Justin, I don't know if you're the same way or what you thought about that.
I have definitely a couple books that are being sent to on-site that is definitely going to be for sale. First Miles, I have a couple of those Batgirl 23 variants that Middleton did.
Yep.
A couple other things that I'm just throwing in there. So, it's going to basically whatever I get for it, it pays. It'll pay
all
for
on-site stuff.
All on-site, right. And I am going to submit some books and get back. And Justin and I realized that, hey, if the books come back before December.
So does Baltimore have any? So like at Terrificon, you were able to get Clayton Crane signatures by just submitting them at the CGC booth. Does Baltimore have any artists that they're doing?
No, they don't do private signings because it's not as big of a show per se, I guess.
So Baltimore is smaller than Terrificon?
It's weird. I don't know. I mean, Gary, you've been there. I've been there twice. It's a great show for comic and stuff. I didn't read anything or see anything on any CGC anywhere that said
it's better
private
for
signings.
Comic collectors and less so about.
Yeah, Jim Lee is there, so they may be doing a private signing for him.
Brian K. Vaughan is there,
Jim Lee,
and I'm possibly cracking my Saga 1.
What's your Saga 1 right now?
A 9.6. So I don't. If it comes back a 9.6,
that's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
see? Oh, that's a no-brainer. The guy says, "Look at that."
It's not coming back a 9.8.
No, if it's a 9.8, I wouldn't crack a 9.8, but you have a 9.6.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably crack this too. I showed this off because this artist Ji Hong Lee, he's gonna be there.
Really?
Yeah.
And that shit's a 9.6 too.
Let's go. Be beautifully signed by him.
Yeah. And he even did that. He did the Detective 1000 with Harley on it. I'm bringing that.
I'm actually looking for a raw copy of the Adam Hughes Thor with Hell on the cover. Somebody was selling on Instagram. I forgot what it was. That was
expensive. That's an expensive book.
It's a expensive raw book. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
A guy had it at a decent price. I wish I picked it up when I did, but I didn't. I got a 9.8. Like Gary, you just said, I'm not going to crack it. Have Hughes sign it, even though he's just going to write H on it.
I love his signature, though.
You like that sig?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I like Adam Hughes. When I met him at Baltimore, maybe 3-4 years ago, I had on some shirt. It was reference. It was the mashup of what's that Iron Man Demon in a Bottle cover?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. With Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was blown away with it. So he was talking to me about it and everything. He's awesome.
He's a nice guy. His wife's really cool.
His wife, if she's the one who's with the booth and inks and stuff.
Allison. Yeah.
She's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
She's great too. Like really nice people.
She's better than Neil Adams' wife.
Yeah, right.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, at New York Comic Con, I saw Big Neil sitting there while his wife's cracking boxes open and setting shit up. I'm like,
yeah. Well, when you're the big deal, you're the big deal.
Yeah. So we want to take a pause right now, real quick. Mad Titan Joe, Burke family's in the house. Deadpool because Danny Lee, Ex-Illusionary is in the house.
Yeah.
He's hanging out with us on this Friday night.
Tebow was back on too.
Yeah, back and forth. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun, man. Getting all these people in the house talking about comics on a Friday night. Justin shows up out of nowhere. He's like, boom, here I am. All of a sudden. So,
what's up, bitches? Is what he said.
When we talk about comic books, right, we talk about the long-term spec list, right? And the long-term spec list are books that can't be really used in the next movie or stuff like that. So there's a few books that
First Tarantula.
Yes. The First Tarantula, yes. But there are books, and especially, shout out to Mikey Sutton, Friends of Lords of the Long Box. And Mikey gave us a couple books to talk about on the long-term spec list, which are books that we already know about. So I'm just going to throw these books up, and we'll just say, hey, have we seen it? Do you have it? Do you think it's going to be a big book? And I kept it with a Halloween theme.
Mm-hmm.
So the first book on the long-term
I'm just going to say chances are I don't have it. But go ahead.
Yeah, right, exactly. Is the first appearance of Mephisto, Silver Surfer #3. Very cool Halloween cover. Great book. I have it raw copy. A book that you could find, but a good book that's creeping up, though. What do you guys think about this book in particular? I'm sorry, Gary, that's right over your face. Let's see if I can move it.
Now you're saying this is a spec book?
So I can talk about this book really quick. So I actually bought this book. It came in a collection, 9.0 old label, original label. And I cracked it, cleaned it, pressed it, came back in 8.5. So that was great. Okay. But a lot of people were asking about this book at New York as well.
Okay, so square bound book.
Really?
Find,
yep.
Right? Silver Surfer, very important character. That was, Stan Lee's baby. He hated when he would not let other people work on Silver Surfer. So Jack Kirby was the same way. So, #3. So pretty big book. The next book that people have a long-term spec list, which I think is a great book to have, which is very undervalued for the Bronze Age book, is Brother Voodoo, Strange Tales 169. Cool book, cool cover. Brother Voodoo becomes a Sorcerer Supreme at some point, which I think is really neat. Gary, people asking about this book at all from the Bronze Age?
One or two, very, very few, but it was asked for. Yeah.
Yes. Right, absolutely. Okay, so that was cool. And then another one was, Werewolf by Night 32, which, is something that people have been saying. And
I don't own it. You own it? Yeah, of course
I did. Yeah, I did. But again, that was a book I bought.
Copies? Or?
No. That was a book that I bought raw. Like I price.
And you have a slab now, right?
I do have a slab.
Yeah.
And it came back exactly what I thought it was, and I put it for a price I paid for. It was a little bit under. The next one, but this is a book that I think people are going after, and I've noticed that this book is creeping up, and it's Werewolf by Night 33, his second appearance. Right. Okay. This is a definite Hulk 180 effect, right, Gary? I don't know if you feel the same.
Yep.
way.
I had one, and it sold pretty quick.
Yeah, you did, really.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I shied it when I was at, oh my God, I think I was at Terrificon, and there was a few vendors that had it, and it was my sticker price on it was pretty high. It was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. But then again, it's a book that I don't see often.
Yeah.
It's a book that is the second appearance now because, the first appearance is becoming unattainable. So, not unattainable, but yeah. So, just books that I think are on the list and that people should be going after. And we've talked about them at length. So, just interesting stuff. So, had a great time tonight, man. This has been good.
Yeah.
It's been a good show.
Good stuff.
It's been a good show. So, we're going to wrap it up. We've been kicking it for almost an hour and a half. Gary, anything you want to say to everybody before we sign off?
Well, I just two things. Number one, I'm definitely not getting out of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just kind of starting all over. And second,
Gary 2.0.
Yeah, we're just revamping here.
Yeah.
And then secondly, if anybody is in the area, and CreditCon should be fun. You're not going to go to a free mall show, at least this one, and find like grails.
Right.
But Joe Sinnott's going to be there. There's a few local artists and writers. I don't know if you guys ever watch when I go live with Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan will be there.
Ryan at Baltimore?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's his favorite show.
Really? All right. So we got to find Ryan.
So what's the date of that mall show?
The 27th. It's a Sunday
of
this month. 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
Oh, October.
3 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have an address? Speak it out.
Poughkeepsie Galleria. I don't have an address, but check the Google.
Yeah.
I think it's on there.
27th on a Sunday, huh?
Yeah, it's a one-day show. It's all day.
Yeah.
Free to get in. Joe Sinnott, local artists and writers. I'll be there. Again, I don't know what I'm selling, but I'll be there. I'm sure I can find something.
You're gonna have a booth there? You're just going there to check out books.
No, I have a booth. Actually, my booth location is right outside of Target and Best Buy. It's probably the best spot. Joe Sinnott will probably be dead center of the mall.
You might have some Fantastic Four stuff to sell. I don't know.
Yeah, all of a sudden. Yeah,
I will be buying collections if you want to come through.
Right, always buying, Gary. Always
buying.
Absolutely. Justin, What do you got going on, brother? What
I'll do a video either live or pre-recorded for my Baltimore on-site and signature series stuff.
Have been missing the variant spotlight.
I know. It's been very busy months, man. It's been between being sick and New York Comic Con, man. It was definitely rough.
And it sounds to me like you're getting lazy.
Oh.
I had a great live show with Dave doing that pre-recorded video that we did for New York.
So listen, that Spider-Man book of mine, are you doing on-site grading for that, or are you just submitting it there?
It's up to you. If you want the on-site grading, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you maybe 30. It may cost you $60 because I think it's old. It's before 1975.
What is it?
What's it? Amazing Spider-Man 130,
130 or 131. First Tarantula.
So it's got to be.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your big spec book.
It really is the second appearance of the Punisher because he's on the back page.
Okay.
I'm back Spider-Man, but comic.
What number?
I think it's 131. So 131?
130.
34.
134. Well, 120. Wait, hold on. I think that is in 1974.
Yeah.
It's
1974. So it's basically either pay the $60, we'll do it on site in 3 days, or you just regular submit it, and it'll be like 40, and you'll get it back in like March of next year.
Or here's an idea: you don't get it graded because it's the first appearance of Tarantula.
Yeah,
but that's
just his.
That's just my opinion.
Listen. You don't even know. It's gonna blow up, and you guys are all gonna be behind the eight ball. You hear it first.
That's right. Man, I'll tell you, what a great show. CGC unboxings. Very Gary's report of New York City. Just Nemesis Prime showing up. The Batman kind of recap. Slab stands. Tons of stuff going on. A couple books that we've talked about. This has been a fantastic
Joker.
134. Amazing Spider-Man 134 is what it is.
Yeah, it's 1974. You're beat. We'll talk about it after the show.
All right. So I'm going to wrap it up. And we've got a lot of things going on right now. So
my dad should have wrapped it up.
Yes. Yeah, really. So here we go. So on behalf of my brother at Lords of the Long Box, of course, shout out to DARKSIDE JEDI, who's going under the knife again for his back. You know what, man, good luck. You're going to make a great recovery. It's going to be fantastic. On behalf of TiVo, our Wednesday night show has always been kicking. It's been great right now. The channel has just been completely revamped. We're having a great time with that. On behalf of my brothers from 3 Men in the Basement, Bernie 1869, who's not here, Roger Levesque, we've got Nemesis Prize, special guest Barry Gary. I am Otto. I have no more voice. I'm signing out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Go Yankees.
See you later, guys.
Blue.